Hello, this is Roy, and I'll be your tour guide for LOGiCAL. Once you log in, you'll go to the dashboard, which is here. On the top left-hand side, you have LOGiCAL. There's a Create button with a plus sign. That is to create a new position. And below that is Dashboard, which is where we are. That gives us an overview of our company and what we have. Calibrations. Now notice the arrow is pointing to the side. If I click on it, it'll point down, and this gives us managed work and completed work. It's divided into those two categories. Managed work is stuff that you have to do or that is upcoming, and completed has already happened. And it'll stay in this position or remember it. You can click the arrow again just to shrink it up. Instruments. Right now I have a plant structure, but I don't have any instruments. Further down, references. These are the standards that we use to perform calibrations. And lists. This is where we can have quantities and units. If there is a quantity and unit that isn't listed here, you can add them in. And then we have manufacturers and models. Help Center. Downloads. This is an easy location to find the sync application if you'll be using your MC6 calibrator, for example, to communicate with LOGiCAL. This is the download link right here. And then bMobile is right there. Support. If you need help, support, it has email addresses for you as well as telephone numbers, and then terms and privacy. So I'll go back to the dashboard. There's also a question mark up on the top right. If you click that, it brings up the help information. And notice on the left-hand side, here's a rundown of what it is. So there's an intro, and it's a dashboard list. Let's go to instruments. And maybe I couldn't quite remember how to create an instrument. I can click Create Instrument, and this walks me through it. Okay, I'll close that. Also on the top right is your company. And if you hit the pull down on this, you can manage your information, change address, you can add people, and you can look at your subscription. Subscription is, well, LOGiCAL is a subscription-based service where you purchase credits to upload data. So it's flexible cost-wise based on your size, and it isn't just a one-size-fits-all. All right, I'll click the Back to LOGiCAL button. So I'm back to my dashboard, and I have a test in my calibrator. Let's bring that over. So I've already installed the LOGiCAL sync application, and I've logged in there. Let me click Synchronize. This will look at my calibrator and bring over any data. If the data doesn't exist in the database LOGiCAL, then it will create it as well. Okay, so that's done. Let me minimize this. And I'll click Instruments now in LOGiCAL. Okay, here's a new instrument, TT-555. This is a position. And let me click it. A position is a location in your plant. It is, well, if you think about it like a loop diagram, or you have a loop sheet that tells you where all your tags are or where all of your positions are, you know that you need a valve here, you need a transmitter here, and the device is literally what you install at that location. So our tag name is TT555, but we've literally installed tag number 12345, tag number, serial number 12345 into that location. So we calibrate the device itself and not the position. Because if this goes bad, we take the device out and put a new device in, but the position or tag ID stays the same. So it'll still be TT555. Here's my function. Let me click this. Our function, I can check this out to the calibrator again. This is a rundown of what it is. This is an RTD transmitter. And as I scroll down, all the way on the bottom is my test result. It's in card format right now. If you look on the right side, I can click that and change it to rows or a list based. And this will put in the date and even timestamp if you wanted to make sure that you're clicking on the latest one. So here's my test result. This includes the standards, the MC6 that I used. I didn't fill any of this in. This all came over automatically. If I wanted to print this, I just click the print button, or I can save it as a PDF. But I don't have to, since I have the database. I can pull this up at any time. Across the top is it's a trail of where we are. So we're in instruments and we're looking at TT555. The function is an RTD transmitter and we're looking at this specific result. So if I wanted to go back to just the position, I can click that and look at that level. And I can also click instruments and pull me back to the main. But there's also instruments on the left-hand side. I can click it there as well. Now, you'll notice there are 3 lines next to LOGiCAL. Yeah, I can click this menu button and it shrinks up the menu. So it makes it smaller if I'm trying to save space, but I'll click that again so you can see the words. Plant structure. So this position doesn't have a plant structure. And normally, if you're a larger company, you'll have different structures within the plant structure. I just said structure, I think 3 times. So if you're a service company, you can have each individual customer be a main plant structure node, but you can put in unit 1, unit 2. Well, let me add a plant root. And this, well, we'll say this is the brewery. Save plant node. So I've created a plant node called the brewery, and I want this temperature transmitter to be located under there. So let me go to positions without plant structure, and I'll edit this. Edit the little pen. So edit position, down on the bottom, there's plant. I can click there, and I'll select the brewery and choose it. Now it's located, and I'll click update. Now this position is located under the brewery. Let me go back to instruments. And now if I click the brewery, I should find my tag. Here it is, TT555. So if I wanted to maybe load everything under the brewery, I could come here and check out these instruments. So this has accomplished that. Let's add a reference. Back to the dashboard. Let's create a reference inside of LOGiCAL. And, well, let's go to references. So a reference is a calibration standard. It could be a weight. Well, here's my MC6 that we just unloaded. It created this automatically. So let's add our reference to the database. This could be a meter. Anything you use could be added here as a reference. Maybe if it's an analyzer, it could be a pH buffer solution. Something like that. Okay, add reference. Manufacturer or model. Well, I can click through those. I'll just type in, I'll start typing in Ashcroft. Okay, here it is. And I only have one, but that's the one I want. So there's my make and model. Serial number. I just made up a serial number for that. I could put a purchase date in here. Let me actually cancel out of that. So calibrated. Due date, 12 months. This one was actually calibrated on January 15th. Okay, and check. I could put the PDF copy of the calibration certificate right here and link to it if I wanted to. All right, there's my additional reference, and that's how you create a reference within LOGiCAL. Back to the main dashboard. From here, I'm looking for my instrument, my TT555, and I can go to instruments, and maybe I've got a whole bunch here. I can click and drill down, but on the top right is a search window. I can always click up here, search instruments, and I can search on any number of, well, it's actually right there, but I'm going to pretend I didn't see that. I'm just going to type 555, hit enter, and see what comes up. So there's a position and a device, and I'll select it here. So I just found my instrument or my position, TT555. Here's my function. So again, the position is the location in the plant. The function is, what is it? Is it a transmitter or a switch or a valve, display? Device is literally the physical instrument that's installed at that location. I wanted to look at my test result, and I don't remember exactly where that is. So it's under, well, function. Let me find my function. Here's my checkout button, edit, share, down at the bottom. Here it is, okay. So I can click this and bring up my test result. And if I want to, I can click the print button and literally print it, or I can view it in a PDF viewer. So here's my calibration certificate. And all my reference information. There is some environmental info here I didn't bother filling out for this example, but there you go. For more information, check out our other videos.